Hello and welcome to the United Stand, Saturday afternoon. A bit of a Manchester United transfer news update for you. Hope you're all doing well. Antoine Griezmann to Manchester United. Well, where is this coming from? Is it got any credibility? Could it even happen? Well, Antoine Griezmann, a very, very big development. Whatever, Griezmann's a player I've wanted to come to United. I think he'd fit us like a glove, but he's also one of the top 5 players in the world. And he made a very big announcement after the win over Italy last night that his future will be decided before the World Cup, which really surprised me for 2 reasons. One, I just feel that the bigger transfers of this summer won't happen until after the World Cup, which obviously I'm incorrect about that. And 2, my understanding with Griezmann's release clause, which is 89 million, was that doesn't kick in till July. I'd read that before somewhere, and I remember discussing it in January. So what's going on there? Is that a big hint in relation to Griezmann? The release clause doesn't kick in till July, but he's going to decide his future before the World Cup. Is that a big hint that Griezmann's going to stay at Atletico Madrid? Because for the last week or so, we've been hearing that he's going to snub Barcelona. And United fans have dared to dream that he was going to come to us. In relation to Griezmann to Manchester United, I don't think so. I was having a discussion 2 nights ago and somebody said, I just got a big feeling Griezmann's going to come. I've always felt he was going to come, and I don't know why people think he's not going to come. My personal view is that I would love that to be the case, but a bit like Ronaldo, unless he's holding up the shirt, I'll never believe it with Griezmann. I think a year ago he was coming, maybe 6 months ago he was coming, but as soon as we did that Alexis Sanchez deal, I was like, that makes no sense. We're definitely not getting Antoine Griezmann. But what went on between a year ago, virtually to the day, was it June the 4th when he said, I'm not coming, I'm staying at Atletico Madrid? What went wrong between there and us signing Sanchez, we'll never know. But let's be honest, a year ago he was coming to United. Morally, he respected Atletico Madrid because of that transfer ban, and he decided to stay. And for some reason, did Barcelona then step in and he decided he wanted to go there? Or did United think, you screwed us, we don't want you anymore, stubborn? Which, to be honest, I think on United's part, I don't know about you, would be very, very silly, because Griezmann's infinitely better, younger than Sanchez, and I think he would have suited us absolutely brilliantly. Great understanding with Pogba. But so I don't think Griezmann will come. Cammy says he's tired of the Griezmann talk. We don't need him. I wouldn't say I'm tired. I wouldn't say I'm tired of it. I'd love him to be a surprise, but I just don't see it happening at all. But very interesting that Griezmann did say last night that he's going to decide his future before the World Cup, which means in the next 2 weeks we're going to know what's happening with Griezmann. Barcelona, I'd still go, or staying at Atletico Madrid. I don't really see him coming to Manchester United. I think with that ship sailed, and it was a big shame. S. Walker says, cool top, McQueen. Yep, a little bit. It's nothing to do with Ashley Young. Steve McQueen. Shout out to McQueen, absolutely one of my favourites, absolute legend. Somebody did just ask about FIFA. Let me know. Let me tell you, it is World Cup build-up is starting. Not on the United Stand. We're not really going to be doing anything World Cup here. It's all going to be about United, as it should be. But I've dropped a link in the video description for That's Football. I'm live at 5 o'clock tonight for the England versus Nigeria watch-along. So if you're interested in the watch-alongs that we do on this channel for the World Cup, England versus Nigeria tonight, 5 o'clock. Link in the video description for That's Football. Join me for that. Also, underneath that, a link to my channel. I have been doing World Cup challenges. I did Mexico yesterday. I got them to the quarterfinal and lost to bloody England. Today I'm doing Belgium. Belgium today, and that will be at about 1:30, so more or less straight after this. Link in the video description for my channel for that. So get involved. The next player I want to talk about, well, let me just answer Sam Burgess. He says, is Fred's medical going to be next week? I've heard that we're going to get him for 45. It's not Hayley McQueen, it's Steve McQueen, look. It's not Hayley. Imagine me walking around with a Hayley McQueen face on me. Give him the number 10 shirt, says Jesse Bernal. I think he's talking about Griezmann. Yep, potentially. In relation to Fred, I've heard £45 million and medical next week. Done next week, basically. So let's see what happens with that. I mean, I'll be happy to get that one over the line. There just seems to be this thing with United where we know a deal's going to be done and it takes forever. It takes bloody forever. We hardly ever do a quick deal. Like Lindelof, I think, was relatively quick. Pogba went on for weeks. Sanchez went on for weeks. Zlatan went on for weeks. Mkhitaryan went on for weeks. And Fred's going on for weeks. Look at what Liverpool did with Fabinho. 2 hours, and it was done. So, yeah, I wish United were a little bit quicker, because look, I know some people don't like transfer talk. I know some people do. We've been very consistent on the United stand, and I especially love it. You know, if you don't like it, that's fine. If you do like it, great. But I would put my hand up and say I would absolutely love to just have deals happen quickly. A little bit of build-up, smash the deal, talk about what they can bring to the club. What I don't like is we know it's done, and then for 2 weeks we're waiting for it to be done, and then it happens and you lose that buzz. I felt the Sanchez and Pogba deals did lose their buzz a little bit. Anyway, let me talk about Pellegrini at Roma. This is a player that we've been linked to. He turns 22 this summer. I think he's had 4 or 5 caps for Italy. 6'2". Jose would like him. Midfielder. And basically, he's an up-and-coming Italian midfielder who pretty much... I'm not going to say Arsenal are interested in him. I think he's probably more suitable for Arsenal. Why are United linked to him? Well, the reason United are linked to him is because Milinkovic-Savic is the player that we want. There is a talk around it that United are going to really struggle to get Milinkovic-Savic because he's expensive and other clubs might want him. So United might struggle to get him. So Pellegrini's been mentioned as a sort of budget alternative. And there are similarities between Milinkovic-Savic and Pellegrini, and anyone who watches Serie A like me will know that. But Milinkovic-Savic has had an infinitely better season. Pellegrini, well, I've got to be honest, I worry it's totally unfair. But if they're actually Italian, I worry more about players that are Serie A Italian coming to England than I do non-Italians coming from Serie A. I don't know why that is. Well, players are different from different countries, aren't they? I suppose traditionally English players don't really go abroad, but when they do, it's a bit of a mixed bag. But Pellegrini is Italian. He's tall. And he's pretty good at everything. He's good on the ball, he's good at tackling, but he's not excellent at any of those. But he's only just about to turn 22 as well. We're only linked to him because of Milinkovic-Savic and potentially not getting him. So just keep a watching brief on it. It's again, as I said last night, and I will keep saying this, I'm not saying Pellegrini's a bad signing. I'm not saying Golovin a bad signing if we go for that type of player. All I'm saying is it's not the right signing for United this summer. If Man City were signing those players, I'd go, you know what? They could develop into really good players. And they've got a great team behind them. We haven't got that great established team to bring in players that could be good. We need to bring in players that are good because we've got a lot of squad players that could be good or aren't good. We haven't got the team that you can bring in a gamble on. They've got to be, on paper, they're going to be really good for us. They're going to be better than what we've got. And that's the thing with United. So Pellegrini, Golovin, they might be really, really good. Golovin, CSK, Moscow, Andre Wallace, spoke about him last night. They might be really good, but we can't be taking those risks this summer. This summer is big. It's like a one-year lottery for Mourinho. He's got to get it right, and he's got to bring the right players in. He's tall, that's okay then, says Phil Foster. Mark Stevart says, I don't want Ronaldo back, and love Mata. Think he's been treated unfairly, says Sam Howes. What do you feel about Juan Mata? Would you let Juan Mata go? Would you let Juan Mata go? Because I sort of feel that he should go. And realistically, he's sort of been the fall guy for Mourinho. After that West Brom game when people won't play in the final, the only one who didn't play in the final was Mata. And he seemed to go in on Mata quite hard on the end of the season. He was hardly playing him. So I think Mata will probably want to stay at United. But actually, for him, again, maybe he should leave and maybe we should get somebody a little bit different. Kieran Byrne says he doesn't want any Russians near United. They don't have a great squad, to be honest. What's the Griezmann big announcement, says Tamid. He's basically said last night that he's going to decide his future before the World Cup. So in the next 2 weeks, Griezmann's going to say what he's doing. I personally think Barcelona or staying at Atletico Madrid. I think the ship has sailed in relation to him coming to Manchester United. Let me just talk about this because somebody did just mention about Ronaldo. Obviously, we've discussed Ronaldo a little bit this week, and there was something I was reading this morning quite out. I also want to talk about the Lukaku comment. Just let me know in the live comments, whoever said Lukaku comment. Are you talking about the comment that he made that Belgium are a better team than United? Because I did see that. But anyway, there's a few things around this morning about Manchester United potentially benefiting from Zidane leaving Real Madrid, and there's a few players that they quite like. My interpretation of that is that it's lazy journalism, because you could flip that the other way and I'm surprised we haven't seen it, and maybe Sunday papers tomorrow we will see it. Zidane leaving means De Gea will go to United, new management, new targets, Griezmann instead of Chelsea goalkeeper. So I think we'll see that. What they're going with at the moment is Real Madrid are in disarray. United can benefit from getting a couple of their players. I don't see a team that's won 3 Champions Leagues and is the richest club, well, arguably the richest club in the world because they spend when they need to spend. I know PSG do, but they don't win things. So I don't think Real Madrid are in disarray at all. I think it could be an exciting time for Real Madrid. Depends who replaces Zidane. Can United benefit from it? Well, United will only benefit from Real Madrid's change of ownership, change of management if Real Madrid players decide they want to leave and they want to come to Manchester United. I was asked yesterday about this in relation to Ronaldo. Can he come back to United? Well, yes, he can, but he's got to want that move. He's got to be adamant, I want to go back to Manchester United. Can Bale come to United? Of course he can. And Gary Neville sort of said this. Bale's got to force that move to Manchester United. It can't be, I don't know whether I'm coming or not, and United are banging on the door going, please come, like we did with Ramos a couple of years ago, and we lost out. We can't go to Real Madrid cap in hand. We've got to go strong and know that that player is firmly wanting to leave Real Madrid and firmly wants to come to United. That's the only way we can do business with Real Madrid. We can't do it any other way. And also, we've said this over the last 2 years. Do we really want to do business with Real Madrid? Because what that has always meant is, yeah, we'll give you this player, but we want De Gea. I don't think United can lose De Gea for anybody. And I know I said the other day I would want Ronaldo back over any player. And I would, because I'm romantic and I love the thought of Ronaldo back at United, and I still believe he's the best player in the world. So I would take Ronaldo over any transfer target anywhere. But would I take Ronaldo to lose De Gea? And I think the honest answer has got to be no. Because you take De Gea out of our team, and I think we're probably finishing 6th and lower for the last 4 years. He is that good. He's that good. I mean, De Gea, we've got a great defence, but we've got Ashley Young at left-back, who's atrocious. We've got Valencia, who's not been great since Christmas. And then centre-backs, well, pull them out of hat each game. We don't know who's going to play. We don't even play our best centre-back. So our defence isn't that good. We've got a good defensive coach who knows how to organise them. But as individuals, they could be a hell of a lot better if they were more talented players. Why have we got a good defence? Because we've got De Gea in goal. If you lose De Gea and you brought Lloris in or a decent goalkeeper, you'd notice just how good De Gea is. So I wouldn't lose De Gea for anybody. So that to me sort of says, should we be dealing with Real Madrid unless we're strong? Unless we're strong and we go, well, you're not having De Gea and Ronaldo wants to leave you. So come back when you, and he wants to come to us. So come back when you've sorted that one out. You've got, the only way we can deal with Real Madrid is if we're strong. We can't just go in there soft. If De Gea leaves, where the hell do we finish? Says Charlie Collins. Exactly. I think 6th or lower. I think he's that important to us. There's a reason he's winning the Player of the Year nearly every year. Sanchez slows the counter-attacks, says Jerome Ronaldo. I think at the moment the jury's out on Alexis Sanchez as to whether he's a good signing or not. At the moment he's not, but I think we've got to give him next season. Hallam899 live, he says it's first time watching, which we all know is nonsense, but please do drop a like on the video for everybody. Remember, we're live at 8 o'clock tonight as well, and we're bringing back Saturday night live comments interaction show. We used to do it quite a lot, but it got busy towards the end of the season, and we are looking at your comments pretty much from minute 1 tonight. We'll be absolutely blitzing through your comments, so looking forward to bringing that back. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If Griezmann leaves, if Griezmann joins, Martial will leave, says Kingdom FX. I don't know why people suddenly feel that Griezmann, that Martial's going to stay. I've still got a horrible feeling he could go, and I think Mourinho is driving that. I think the club don't want to sell Martial because he's young and can be a great talent, but I think Mourinho wants to sell Martial because it's obvious. He replaced him in January. He doesn't play him. I think Mourinho thinks 70 million for Martial and I'll buy Willian, I'm happy. But it goes against what United's all about. Bring back Skype Goldbridge, says Gabriel Medina. Skype Goldbridge hasn't gone anywhere. Skype Goldbridge has gone nowhere. We just couldn't do it on Monday because it was a bank holiday Monday. We had to do the Sunday show. So Skype Goldbridge is back on Monday night, and I want to bring it back on a Thursday night as well. So it's not gone anywhere at all. Griezmann's going to announce where he's going to be before the World Cup, Apple J-Lo. That's the big Griezmann thing. Some people think that United still could do it. Carl Watkins, there's your shout out. Will be our backup striker next. Martial will be our backup striker next season, says JXE. Well, also, just on Martial, I keep saying this. Why would Martial be happy being backup striker? He would have been going to the World Cup if we hadn't signed Sanchez. He was having a great season. He's had a bad end to the season and he's not going to the World Cup because of Mourinho. He's out of contract in a year's time. Why would Martial... United arguably are going for a new contract with Martial. Martial might just say, I ain't signing it. I'm not signing it until I can see that I'm playing regular football. So there's a lot more mileage in that Martial thing yet. Until he signs a new contract, I'm just like, I don't know. I think Griezmann will stay in Spain, says Gabriel. Yeah, I agree with you. Shay says, I reckon he's going to go to Barcelona. Why do we need Ronaldo? Where would we play him? Oh, Margab Khan. Oh, no. I've read a comment that's going to, you might regret saying it. Maybe you do stand by it. Maybe you don't. This T-shirt's a bit big round the neck. It's from my fat days. It's not really. I've had this T-shirt years. It's vintage. Jacko, I doubt it. What we don't need Ronaldo. Where would he play? I've said this before, and I'll use a different analogy. It's like I always like the car ones, but it's like having a screwdriver that you've used and it's good, and it takes the nails out the door, and it's a really good screwdriver. But then someone knocks on the door and says, "Here you go, I've got this top of the range electric screwdriver. All you do is push the button, does everything quicker and better." I'm all right. I've got my non-powered, non-top-of-the-range screwdriver here. It does a good job. Takes me longer, and we don't get as good a results, but you keep your electric screwdriver that's top of the range. That's why we need Ronaldo. We don't necessarily need him because we've got good attackers, but you don't turn down Ronaldo. You don't turn down Messi. We shouldn't turn down Griezmann. Arguably, you don't turn down Bale. But if Ronaldo's available and he wants to come to Manchester United, of course, a striker is not really our priority, but you don't turn down that sort of player. You don't. In goal, in fact, De Gea is probably the only position we've got where we wouldn't turn anybody down. Like, if somebody goes, you can have Donnarumma, you can have Buffon in his prime, you can have Manuel Neuer, we go, no thanks, we've got the best, De Gea. But right back, left back, centre backs, midfield, forwards, there's a player out there in the world that if they knocked on the door and said, I'm available, United should just drop everything and sign. Because that's the problem with United's team as well. Ashwin, Ronaldo wouldn't be the best player in the world at United. Well, that is a whole other argument. And if I was Gareth Bale, Griezmann, Ronaldo, Dybala, Milinkovic-Savic, one of these best players in the world, I would look at that and go, is United the right move for me? It's a big leap of faith. For any player that comes to join us this summer, unless it's a Fred or a Delort or something like that, who look at United and are just in awe of it, and hopefully they will really perform for us. The best players in the world, imagine Toni Kroos or anyone like that, if they're offered United, I wouldn't blame them if they looked at it and went, the football's atrocious. Is that really the best move for me? And some of them will look at it and go, no. Some of them will look at it and go, I want to play for that club. I reckon I can make it better. And I think Ronaldo would have that attitude over Bale, but I'm not until he's holding up a shirt. I refuse to jump on that. Is Neymar available? Says Subnam. Neymar's probably available, but if Neymar comes to United, he's only coming for money, isn't he? Let's be honest. And a lot of players are like that. Why not Alaba for Alexandro? Says Imola. A lot of people talking about Alaba, but I just don't think his club would ever sell him. What's up with the Sandro deal? Says Thomas. It's just gone very, very quiet. Very, very quiet. Apparently going to have talks with Juventus this week. Nothing's come out of that. No new contract. As I said last night on Twitter, United are going to sell Darmian to Juventus. If we're not saying, there's Darmian, we want Sandro, that is criminal. What are we doing? We've got to... That is the opportunity. They want Darmian. We want Sandro. Let's get something done. Let's get something done. Leon Prez, you're not blocked because I can read your comments. Am I still Jose in? Says Daddy T. Yeah. Are we? How are we feeling about Jose Mourinho collectively? I'm still Mourinho in. He pushed me close. He pushed me close at the end of the season. He pushed me to the edge of the cliff, but I didn't jump. And there's nothing that's going to happen over the summer. I've moved away from the cliff edge now. I feel quite positive about the coaching staff. I feel quite positive about what we can do in the transfer window. So I was on the edge. I'll put my hands up and say I was getting very close to the edge. You think about Sevilla and some of the performances, the way he treated some players, what happened in the final. I was close to the edge, but I didn't jump. And I know some of you did, and I know some of you didn't. But I've moved away from the edge now. I want him to have that third year, and I'm going down the positive route. Of course, some fans say you're an idiot. They say that anyway. But some fans say you're an idiot because nothing's going to change. And if nothing changes, he will go. But at the moment, I do back the manager. I wouldn't. I'd love Zidane at United. I'd love to see Zidane going against Pep, but I wouldn't do it this summer. He's got to be given a chance. And I've just answered a few questions there because a lot of people are saying, would you take Zidane over Jose? Anyway, lots of good questions coming in. We'll pick up the rest of those tonight at 8 o'clock because it's all going to be about your live comments tonight. Really looking forward to that. Drop a like on the video, please. Give us your thoughts on everything we've discussed. What do you think about Pellegrini over Milinkovic-Savic? What do you think about... The one I want to read about is Real Madrid. Do you really think we can go and do business for Real Madrid? Do you think that they are weakened without Zidane and there's an opportunity to go and pick up a couple of their players and still retain De Gea? Griezmann, where do you think Griezmann's going to end up? Let's get people in the comments. Tell us where you think, and we can have a look in a couple of weeks because he's going to announce it. That's what he said last night. And anything else we've discussed, give us your thoughts. Thanks everyone for watching. Drop a like. And remember tonight, 5 o'clock, I've dropped a link in the video description. That's football. Click on that, subscribe to the channel because I'm live tonight at 5 o'clock for the England versus Nigeria World Cup watch along. If you're getting into the World Cup fever, join us on that for that. And then the link below that is my channel, Goldbridge live stream. I'm literally going to be live there in 10 minutes doing a Belgium World Cup challenge on FIFA 18. So a couple of links for you if you're into the World Cup. And of course, tonight we'll be live here at 8 o'clock taking your questions and everything. Thanks everyone for watching. Really enjoying these shows. I don't make any apologies. I actually like the transfer stuff and always have done. It goes back to being a young lad, getting home from school, getting on CFAX, page 302. If you remember that, you're old school. Championship Manager, FIFA. I've always loved transfers and I would never apologise for it. And I know people get fed up, some people get fed up of it, and that's fine. But it's all about different opinion, isn't it? And I love it. If you don't like it and you park it for the summer and you wait till August, fine. I'm passionate about it. I know a lot of you are. I enjoy it. It's educational. You learn about players. So I love it. So thanks everyone who's getting involved. Speak to you all soon. Do join me for the England game later at 5 on That's Football. And if you want to join me in about 10 minutes for the FIFA 18, it's always a bit of a laugh. See what we can do with Belgium. Speak to you all soon.